Ladies and gentlemen, greetings and salutations. I hope everybody is doing well. I just wanted to thank you for giving me another opportunity to share with you and go over the benefits of entrepreneurship and the way that we plan to design a better future. So, if this is the first video that you're checking out, I encourage you to go back to day one. Today is day two. Check out what we talked about yesterday and make sure that you're following along. And in that way, this sort of makes sense and ties into what we started discussing yesterday. For those that have already checked out day one, I appreciate it. Again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you. Today, again, we're going to talk about the benefits of entrepreneurship and how to design a better future for yourself and your family. I don't want to keep you guys long, but I do want to share with you, and I'm excited. So here we go. Okay, again, day two of three, like I said, I'm going to keep this really quick. What we're going to talk about are the benefits of entrepreneurship and why people choose to go ahead and pursue this particular path, right? We're going to talk about some of my personal experiences I'm going to share with you guys so that way, if you're considering maybe entrepreneurship as a path that you want to take, I want to hopefully give you some tools, some of my experiences, and just allow you to see a little bit into what that entails and what it takes to be successful and give you a better idea. So if you do choose to move forward, you kind of have a feel for what to expect. Okay. And then obviously, I want to leave you with helpful tips because if you do choose to proceed, then any tip or trick or strategy that can shorten the time from you starting to ultimately reaching your goals and the business building, if that's what you're doing, we want to make sure that we cut the time as much as possible. So we'll be covering all these tips and let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing, again, is the benefits. And when it comes to the benefits of going for an entrepreneurship path versus maybe the 9 to 5 path, I would think that most people want to be their own boss. Most people don't like other people telling them what to do, when to do it, how to do it. They'd like to make those decisions for themselves and be able to think freely. Unfortunately, in most, and again, I say most because I know some companies do allow employees to go ahead and provide input as to how the companies ran or some of the policies and procedures. But most of the time, that's not the case. And most entrepreneurs want that freedom to be able to choose, to be able to decide how things are ran in the business. Because I'm sure some of you guys watching have worked for a company or are currently working for a company where you didn't like the procedures, you didn't like something that the company was doing, but unfortunately you didn't have a say so. So you had to keep doing it that way, even though to you it seemed crazy. I've been in those situations and it is crazy. So that's why I believe a lot of entrepreneurs want to go ahead and have the freedom to choose how to run the business and the ways that they're going to assist the customers. Okay. Second thing I believe is the choices that it provides you. For example, I have 2 kids myself, and one of them's about to be 3. One of them is almost 10. And my 10-year-old, she has a lot of activities that she would like to participate in. And I'm sure you guys understand sports, after school activities. Kids want to do things and things are happening. And sometimes having a 9 to 5 job doesn't give you the flexibility or the options to be able to drop your kid off at school sometimes or pick them up or help them with their homework or go to their basketball games or different activities that they might have. And as an entrepreneur, you have more flexibility to choose what you spend your time doing, and you can rearrange the time where you actually focus on your work. You're not bound to a set schedule that doesn't allow you flexibility. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have to ask anybody for time off. You just take the time off, but you know that there's work to be done and there's deadlines to be met. So you have to just adjust your schedule accordingly, make sure you complete the task, but still be able to be there for your family. And then, last but not the least, obviously, the unlimited income potential that is possible by being an entrepreneur. You see, entrepreneurs understand that if I can create something or if I can build something that allows me to generate income and I don't have to trade my time for money, then that's a skill. And if I'm able to develop that skill and be able to make that thing more valuable to more people, then that can potentially generate me more money. Again, this isn't anything that's guaranteed, but I think entrepreneurs are more optimistic and they understand that everything is going to present challenges, obstacles, and we're going to have to be problem solvers and figure things out. But we're willing to take on the challenge because we know that the reward at the end of the day is much greater than playing it safe. So if there's risk involved, it's okay. We just try to make sure that we take the most calculated risks that still have the best possible outcome that'll give us the future that we're trying to design. Hope that makes sense for you guys. On to the next one. So on this one, I want to share a little bit of my personal experiences. Now, what I mean is sometimes in business, when you go ahead and decide, which is the very first step, you have to make the choice, you have to make the conscious decision that you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to go into business, you want to do things outside of just the 9 to 5. That's a decision. And a lot of people, I think, get stuck right there, the why and the how. Let me explain. For example, my specific situation, why did I want to pursue entrepreneurship? Well, the things that we just talked about on the other slide. Again, being my own boss, having the freedom and flexibility to choose, the unlimited income potential, all of those things were attractive to me. And the fact that I always had this feeling of being able to help people in a way that would be so beneficial and provide so much value. And I thought, if I owned a business, I could be able to provide jobs. I could be able to do so many things as a business owner. And because business owners and entrepreneurs can decide what type of business, the potential again is unlimited. So that was sort of my why. And then obviously, as time goes on and you begin to have a family, different things come into play, your why can change. But in my opinion, it only gets stronger because the fact that I wanted to do all those things before I started a family, now that I've added a wife and 2 kids, doesn't take away. It actually strengthens the why of why I want to be an entrepreneur, so I could provide not only for other people, but for my family and have the choices for my family and anybody else that wants to, join the business that I'm building so that they can provide for their families and provide options, right? So all of these things are my why. And again, some people get stuck on the how. How am I going to do this? So because they're trying to figure out how, they get scared and different things pop up and they see the obstacles and challenges that could arise. And then they go ahead and say, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should just fall back. Maybe I should just go to my job and work harder there. I want to encourage you, if you've ever had that thought, just go ahead and wipe that thought out of your mind right now. Go ahead and start dreaming again. Start having the big dreams and setting the goals that get you closer to being that entrepreneur. Whatever business it is that you decide that you want to do, take the leap of faith. Go for it. Okay. Now, the challenges, the obstacles, these things are going to be part of the journey. Just understand, ladies and gentlemen, challenges, obstacles are going to be part of the journey. Get ready to get dirty. Get ready to get down and dirty and grind and kick and fight for what you want. Nobody is going to give you anything that you haven't earned or that you don't deserve, right? We talked about yesterday just having expectations, and I want to caution you on having expectations because sometimes those expectations will lead you to frustrations, okay? So, let me clarify, expectations from other people. Don't have expectations of other people. You can have expectations of yourself for what you want to have accomplished, but don't expect anybody to do anything, right? So some of the challenges, again, and the obstacles, I want to talk about my personal situation. As we talked about yesterday, there was an opportunity for me to go ahead and build a business with the DARE campaign is where I started, but then switched over ultimately to the Fast Wax FW1 campaign. Again, using the same 5 steps to a conversation, same marketing system, same opportunity. Now, there were so many obstacles and challenges that I had to overcome. For example, I had to learn, first of all, how to use the marketing system in the first place to be able to generate income and then go out there and actually do it. Second thing I had to learn how to do was teach, train, show other people that were learning the same marketing system that I had just learned how to do the same thing I had done and actually make money for themselves, make money for their families as well. And then I had to switch my mentality altogether from learning how to do something. Now that I had learned how to do it, I had to focus on teaching it. Now that I had focused on teaching and training and showing people how to do it, I had to now focus on doing interviews, right? To teach and train and show other people how to do those same interviews, because that's again the skills that you're going to learn. So there's challenges learning, but there's also challenges because you have to teach other people. So if you've never taught before, that's going to be a new skill that you're going to have to learn, and it's a struggle to learn anything new if you're not automatically catching on and really good. But anyway, it's okay. And I'm just giving you guys the heads up because at the end of the day, if you don't quit and if you don't give up, you give it time, you persevere, you continue to work hard, you're going to be successful like my guy over there. So the reason he's excited, the reason that I was excited was because after going through all the obstacles, challenges that I had to go through to get to the management level and have the opportunity to run my own business, I had learned so many valuable skills that I continue to use till this day, even though I haven't worked with this company with FW1 and the Dare campaign since 2012. Here we are in 2023, and I have used the same skills to get multiple opportunities since then and positions to earn income. So what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that the skills that you learn are transferable. Now, some of us might be at a job currently right now that we don't like, we don't want to be there, and we're there just for the simple fact that we need to earn money and we have bills to pay, we have responsibilities, so we keep going in and out. I want to caution you. I want to encourage you. Look for something else to do other than go into that place of employment for work, because what's happening, it's changing who you are, right? Hear me. What are you becoming by going to that job? Because one of the things that I became by taking advantage of the opportunity to talk to people in front of Walmart, Starbucks, Target, and then moving over to talk to people at gas stations was I increased my communication skills. I increased the ability to build relationships with anybody, from the bums that were hanging out at the gas station all the way to the CEOs that pulled in and didn't want you to touch their car because they were scared that you were going to scratch it, right? I learned how to take advantage of opportunities when they arose. I learned how to read and recognize maybe when to stop or maybe when to push a little bit more when you're having a conversation. So all these different skill sets that you learn, again, they're transferable to other things that you may end up doing. One of the things that I learned is that you may start out doing something and that may be a stepping stone to get you to the next thing. And I truly believe that this opportunity that I'm sharing with you guys, where I worked with FW1 and the Dare campaign, was a stepping stone that allowed me to take full advantage of this opportunity that I'm currently taking advantage of now. And if you guys are interested in hearing more about that, then I definitely invite you to check out tomorrow's session, which is going to be day 3, where I'm going to give you a little bit more information so you get a clear picture of what that opportunity is and how it works and how you might be able to benefit from it. If it's something that you're interested in, boom, we can get started and working together to be able to make sure that you take advantage of the opportunity to its fullest capacity. All right, I think we've got enough on the personal experiences here. Let's move on. So we're going to wrap today's video up with just some success tips that I think will help you become successful if you do, again, choose to go down the entrepreneurial path and design your life in that way so that you can have the options that we talked about, the unlimited income potential and all the freedom to choose and decide how you want to ultimately live your life. We talked about mindset yesterday. We talked about relationships yesterday. Those things are crucial to the success of your business. If your mindset, again, isn't in the right place and you don't necessarily even have that why that we talked about earlier today, then it's going to be very difficult for you to take advantage of the opportunity, and you won't even see an opportunity, I promise you, when all the obstacles and challenges start coming your way. So it's a very smart idea to make sure that your why is bigger than any potential obstacle, right? Because if your why, you're doing what you're doing, is bigger than the obstacles and challenges trying to stop you and keep you from getting to your goal, then you won't let those happen. You'll roll right over it, roll right through it, or go under it. You'll find a way to get around. Okay. Relationships are key. Like I said earlier, it's like having a teleporting machine. If you have somebody who's been in a business, I don't care what business it is, they've been there 20, 30 years and have experience, and today's your first day on the job. If you hang out with that person and pick their brain and get information about that job and the responsibilities that you have, if they've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years, do you think that you might be able to extract some information that allows you to get ahead, as opposed to somebody who doesn't ask any questions and doesn't have any coaches or mentors or leaders that can help lead him down the right path? I think we all know having a mentor, having a coach speeds up the process, hence the importance of building relationships with like-minded people. Talked about that yesterday. Now, when it comes to business, products or services are what most businesses are providing to customers to be able to earn income. So if you're going to go into business for yourself, whether it's a product or a service, just make sure that there's a need in the marketplace. Let me stress that and say that again. If you're going into business and you're coming up with your own product or service, make sure there is a need in the marketplace for the product or service. About 70% of businesses fail in the first 20 months because one of the reasons there's no need in the market for that product or service that they're trying to put into the marketplace. So be sure that you make sure, whether it's a product or service, there's a need and there's customers that you can fulfill that need for. And then if you're, again, going into business for yourself, obviously you want to have a great business plan. That's part of where we're doing our product research to make sure. But if you're not going into business for yourself, then the company that you're going into business with, you want to know that their values align with your values. You want to know that their products or services align with your values, so that if you're promoting, maybe as an affiliate or a partner, or however the relationship is, that you agree with the products or services that you are promoting or referring people to use. And then obviously things like social media, that's a tool that you can use to reach more people. Obviously with things like Zoom, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the different social media platforms, people are able to communicate from almost anywhere in the world. So as I'm doing this video, it's going to reach people in different parts other than California. And I don't know who's going to be watching, who's going to see it, but my goal is to be able to help provide valuable information that they can use to be able to develop themselves and build a better life and a better future for themselves by sharing. And then obviously building a personal brand. One of the things I've seen more and more of, personal brands being trusted more than big companies. It's interesting. A lot of the big companies are laying people off left and right. I don't know when you're watching this and what's going on, but again, it's 2023, May 11th. And I heard different things in the past weeks of different big companies laying thousands of people off, and it's probably going to be happening more and more as time goes on. I saw something this morning in the news about Amazon wanting to pay customers $10, Amazon Prime customers who are supposed to be getting next day delivery, pay the customers $10 for them to go and pick up their merchandise from a warehouse possibly. So to me, what happens to all the drivers that were doing the deliveries before? Maybe there's not enough money to pay them, and maybe they were part of the 10,000 that just got laid off. Who knows? I don't know. But that's something to keep an eye out for. So again, you want to be able to brand yourself. Again, in conclusion, brand yourself, build your business. That's just my recommendation. There's nothing wrong with working for somebody else, but as you're doing that, find a way to put in the time to develop something or partner with a company that you can actually build a business with so that that way you're not depending solely on a 9 to 5 job with somebody else in control of your future. You want to take control back of your future and be able to design that future and freedom that you want for yourself and for your family. It's 20 minutes in, and I don't want to keep you guys any longer. Thank you so much. If you guys have hung with me this far, I want to just give you an idea of what we got going on for day 3, which is going to be creating a winning team and a step-by-step plan of how you can get started with the business or with an opportunity. And again, I'll share a little bit of what I'm doing so that if anybody is watching and is interested in what we've been going over in the first 2 days, and the third day it makes sense and you want to go ahead and partner up or get more information about what I share, that's all good. And that's what we're going to be doing. I appreciate you guys again taking the time. I appreciate your attention. And if there's anybody that you know of that could potentially benefit from this information, feel free to share it. I'd appreciate that. And again, if you haven't subscribed and this is information that you would be interested in hearing more of, I encourage you to do that as well. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. If there's any questions, comments on today's video, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And I'll be more than happy to reach out and get those questions answered for you guys. And until tomorrow, have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.